training-oriented exercise podcast.
And then we'll build up the casual panel audience attending into professional. We'll work on that. This is the gateway to that. Yes.
Hey, Pat and Ian. My name is Justin. First of all, thank you so much for being here. So great having you guys. I'm a high school history teacher here on Long Island, and one of the ways I always like to connect with my kids is bringing in the retro games. I have a lot of good memories of playing Mario Kart after school or little Mortal Kombat 2 on the Genesis. So my question for you guys is, was there a teacher growing up that was into gaming? And if so, is that someone that you were able to connect with for that reason? Made maybe your classroom experience more comfortable? For me, it's been great. It's worked well.
So, first of all, respect to you. My dad was a high school history teacher his whole life, so I have a lot of respect for teachers. No, there really wasn't, not for me. There were some that were aware of them, but I graduated in 2000, and I could see that being a great boon in the classroom, a great way to connect. I know some friends, my age who are teachers now, and they love that they can kind of connect on that with kids, but I think I missed that. We were the first generation to really grow up with them. So I think I missed that probably by about 10 years.
Yeah, I went to like a Catholic grade school. So, I mean, in the mid to late 80s, even the teachers that were in their 20s then, were born probably like in the 60s. So it's like there's probably not a chance that they grew up and played video games. Then obviously you have the older ones, like we had like a few nun teachers that were probably in their 50s or 60s, and they probably even couldn't use a controller.
The only game they knew was knuckle slap.
That didn't happen in my grade school.
I definitely got wrapped across the knuckles.
My father had stories about that, though.
Yeah.
Then my grandfather pulled me out of the school after that happened. He yelled at the nuns and pulled them out of the school. Good for you, Grandpa, for doing that. So anyway, but no, I didn't have any teacher that probably talked about video games ever, I don't think.
I had some cool teachers, just none of them were video games.
I did have, in the high school computer class, I had the OG Pac-Man, a beautiful, just a ROM version, executable file on a 3.5, and I forgot where I got it from, but it was literally just an arcade ROM, it seemed like, or close to it. And I gave a copy to it, all the kids put it on their computers in the classroom, so it was like 25 of us playing Pac-Man in high school. I got in trouble for it. Not detention or anything, but they said you can't do that. I'm like, it's Pac-Man. It's not, I'm not spreading around anything naughty or anything, because there were kids that did that and got in trouble. We're talking, mid-90s when it was still new, that stuff, so.
All right, we gotta stay on track, Patrick.
Guys, I'm just saying, thank you. Next question. We got 20 minutes.
All right, so my name's Joe.
Hey,
so
Joe.
happy to have you guys both on the East Coast. So exciting. My question is actually a follow-up from my question at Too Many Games for Pat and Ian. I would love if you could answer this question too. How was 4th of July with Frank?
How was 4th of July with Frank?
I was not there. I don't even know what I did on the 4th. The 4th is just another day at this point.
We didn't do burgers and dogs. We did Frank did, I think he did chicken, did some chicken, and I think he did ribs as well, I believe.
Ooh,
Frank has a smoker. He uses it sometimes. He is a smoker, but he uses a smoker, and he does a good job. He does the dry rub on the ribs. This is the dry rub.
I did play D&D on the 4th, which means I cooked. But
With Frank?
I made white chili. That's what I did. I made white chili.
Did you give me something?
No, I didn't give you some white chili
What
because
is
all the
that?
people I made it for ate it.
What's white chili?
White chili is a chili that is, white. It's not tomato-based. I make it with scallions, cannelli beans, pulled roasted chicken thigh meat specifically, green onions, and then I whip in about half a cup of sour cream, a little chicken stock, and if I'm feeling frisky, a packet of ranch seasoning and a little cream cheese.
Ian, you know how you intermittent fasting. Come on, you're killing me.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Killing me here. Starving.
My white chili
Hello,
bags.
gentlemen. How you doing? Thank you for coming to the East Coast.
Happy to be
my
here.
question is, in regard to television, I know this is going to make you laugh, but what if you guys are wrong?
But how are we wrong?
Like, what if the television becomes successful? It is a great system.
There was a period in time where the reason it was so frustrating was we were the only people of note really being critical of the idea. I mean the entire industry. There was no professional game journalists covering the Amico at all or talking about it. Behind the scenes, they obviously were, but they weren't doing any articles about it. They weren't doing it on podcasts. It took like years before someone like Jeff Gerstmann started talking about it when he knew it was going to be a failure. And he probably always knew, but like once it was definitely on a downward trend after E3 last year, that's when everyone else started talking about it. So there was a point in time where I would talk to people like, are me and Ian crazy about this? We're the only ones thinking that this is not going to happen? And everyone behind us is like, oh no, you guys are right, but no one was saying it. So I was like gaslighting myself, thinking that, are we the bad guys? Are we the ones that are wrong about this?
My quick answer is this. I've said it before and I'll say it again, and I knew this wasn't ever going to happen from go, but if Tommy Tallarico's wish-casted, I'm just going to make up bullshit presentation at Portland Retro Gaming had come true, might have been something I would have been interested in. I like weird, quirky stuff. He was rattling off all the right retro, game titles that I knew he had no rights to.
Burger Time re-release?
I love Burger Time. He had put R-Type up there. So if that version of it had come out, I would have bought it. I would have been like, all right, here it is. And I would have bought it and enjoyed it. Because honestly, it didn't...
At $180.
At $180.
Yeah.
Yeah, not higher than that. It didn't really get personal for me until he made it personal. So while I didn't think it was going to come out, it would have been something in its initial form that I would have been interested in.
Oh, I see. So how would you approach it? Like if you were in his shoes?
How would I approach what?
Like selling, marketing to people.
Oh, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't take on the project, because it's a bad fucking idea that never had a chance in hell of getting off the shelves. I'm just saying, if it was word of his universe, if it had come out in that form, I would have bought it. And I would have been like, all right, Tommy, you're right. I mean, it would have been whatever.
We actually discussed this before, in terms of like, if you're gonna do this business, you start as a publisher first, you come out with the games on standard consoles, like the Switch, on the where the people already are, they don't have to buy hardware to play. You put out your software as many places as you can, you see if people bite, then you start thinking about, okay, what if I can do an accessory bundle with more software? Then you can do your stupid elaborate controller, because at least you know people are interested in those games at those prices.
The next step, I think, would be you put them on the digital stores, you see if people bite. Then you do a plug and play with those games. Those games and see if people bite on that. And then if people bite on that, there's some sort of momentum. Then you go, okay, we're doing sequels to all these games, and they're going to be on our new Intellivision Amico.
You build. Every significant video game console successful, they built up to a console.
Including the NES.
Yes.
They had Game & Watches and arcade games before they even considered
They
doing
had Pong clones in the 70s. Every single company had something else before, or was a successful company to begin with. Like Sony was building TVs and radio stuff for decades up to that point.
Yeah, you don't wake up in the morning and go, I want to be a real boy, and then decide you're going to make a console.
All right, thanks for your question.
Thank you.
But no, it wouldn't come out with it. There's no marketing strategy. Who's next?
Can you hear me?
Hi, Elvis.
Hey, I hope you remember my name too.
No, that was just me. I said it again.
Oh yeah, now you put the face with the name. I remember Elvis. Yeah.
Oh, hi, yeah, he says Elvis. I guess to tell Ian, I'm a little behind the podcast. Has there been any kind of funny moments in the podcast in the past couple episodes that I should look up, or some episodes that you recommend to watch? And also, what is that exclusive podcast that you have on your Patreon now?
Oh, so we do the bonus bits in the morning. Where we it's like AM with Pat and Ian. It's our warm up.
I talked about a bad encounter at my house.
I talk about whatever's floating through my head at that hour of the morning. And then as far as funny moments, I don't spend a lot of time going, man, I killed it. So I don't know. You'll just have to catch up. It'll be a
looking for us
surprise.
to review ourselves.
Yeah, I'm not going to review myself.
Yeah.
It's like the toy in the bottom of the cereal box, Elvis. You got to dig for it.
It's
Okay.
Ian's comment on Tommy's face in the last podcast and what his face is making.
Oh.
You commented on Tommy's face? I don't remember
I
that.
said it looks like he's blowing a load into his guitar.
Is there any young people here?
Too bad.
I'm sorry.
You should know us at this point.
Supposed to be PG-13. All right.
So I'll just go like a huge scavenger hunt basically and watch it, right?
Yeah, dig deep for those.
All right. Well, have fun going back the last couple of weeks and listen in there.
Yeah, no problem. Again, it's great to see you guys again. Hope to see you more con. So,
Thanks so much.
All right, thank you.
Hello.
All right. Hello, gentlemen.
Howdy.
My name is Ryan, and as you can probably figure out, I'm maybe not as well versed in the retro scene as probably a lot of other people here, right?
You said I could figure that out?
I can read it right on your shirt, Ryan.
Okay, I don't see an Atari joystick on there. I don't see an NES logo. No,
Must not know.
no Kirby hat.
So, I have picked up on reading and listening, watching the podcast and everything, on more guys than just Tommy Tallarico. Just to name off the top of the tip of the iceberg, people like Billy Mitchell and Todd Rogers. Just the worst people in.
How do you really feel?
Not just in the space, but like in general.
They're not the worst people. Here's the thing. There's bad people in all segments and all hobbies. It's just that, like, these are the ones that stand out. If you go into, like, the financial sector, there's gonna be bad people like the farmer bro that went to prison.
They're not Bernie Madoff. I mean,
Yeah.
they're just, these are people who did not get enough love as children, and instead of turning to good, they turned to lies and deceit.
Well, I may have gotten enough love as a child, but I'm okay. But anyway.
Well, like I said, you can turn it to good, or you can turn it
I
to
could've-
lies and deceit.
I could have turned into a Tommy potentially, another universe as a Pat that came out trying to get all the game
Pat,
console.
there's absolutely an alternate Patrick Amico
Oh my
out
God.
there somewhere.
Oh my God. All right.
I guess my question is, what is it that you think that turns those people once they reach that point?
I mean, now this is a whole other psychological symposium we're doing right now. We want to get into it. That's,
You're the guys I want to ask that.
why are we? We're not professional.
If you want to know my
We
honest
need
answer,
a disclaimer to say, like, we're not professionals.
Yeah, this is
and
not
any
legal
medical,
advice.
psychological, or financial advice, we're not professionals.
video game players in the 80s and 90s got picked on. They did. We did. We got picked on for it. And those people sometimes, I'll just slide over a little bit more. There you go. It's weird when you do it to me. It's not as weird when I do it
Shoes
to
on the
you.
other, the hands on the other shoulder now.
Yeah. So,
Okay, let's do it.
it's a
rare moment.
It's a rare moment.
Enjoy it.
So that's enough.
We shared enough pheromones there.
So my name is Pete.
Hey, Pete. Hello.
Big fan, been watching the podcast for a long time. My question for you guys is, if you could, go back in time and get to relive a single gaming moment for the first time, what would it be? For me, it was when I beat Mike Tyson's Punch-Out because it was so damn hard, and I never thought I would beat it. Like, never even, I would use, so when I beat that, I just sort of I freaked out. And, if you could go back and relive a gaming moment, what would it be?
I think a weird one for me, just off the top of my head, because I'm like, think hard, and this is what. The Dreamcast launch was a very exciting time for me. I was really looking forward to that system. And a month, or like 2 months before it came out, Hollywood Video did a thing where you could rent a Dreamcast.
I am a former Hollywood Video employee.
Wow.
All
right.
I was through 2 different uniforms. Initially, we had just the cummerbund,
Oh,
but
great.
then we upgraded to the vest.
The vest,
all
yes.
of which were scratchy and not fun to wear.
Oh, I bet not.
So-
I've worn many restaurant uniforms that are not. So anyways, they did an event where you could rent it in a copy of Sonic Adventure early, and they didn't include any VMUs, so you couldn't save anything. So we turned it on for the weekend, and my buddies and I just played through all of Sonic Adventure and beat everything before we gave it back, and it was fun. It's also probably the fastest I've ever worked through an entire video game, because we couldn't save, so we just left everything on, and just every time we finished someone's story, we'd start another one.
Mine's boring, just playing Super Mario Brothers. That's boring.
Thanks a lot, guys.
By the way, it's Mario here. I heard people saying Mario here again, because that's how we say it in Jersey and New York.
Yes, I'm from.
Am I right about that? Do you know Marios or Marios? You personally know Marios, right? Thank you, all non-East Coasters. I'm not crazy. People come after me all the time for that. Yeah, you're welcome. All right.
Hey Pat, Jose, I see you on Twitch. I'm Red Crawling Devil on there.
Oh, nice to see you.
3 things. 1, Ulysses is better than the Mask scene. The Ulysses.
There's nothing better than the Mask cartoon scene.
This question's for Ian. Ian, what is your favorite era for commercials?
For Ian. You have an error?
I do, and it's the answer. Late 90s paid advertisements, particularly the Ron Popeil, Ronco segments. I used to trip balls in high school and then come home and watch those as I came down, and it was the best. I felt really close to Ron Popeil, and I rarely get sad when celebrities die, but when he kicked the bucket last year, I actually reached out to a friend I hadn't spoken to in like 10 years, and I was like, did you hear Ron died? And he was like, yeah, that's sad stuff. So anyways.
I don't know if I ever saw any of those. I'm trying to think.
Jesus H. Set It and Forget It.
Oh, is that guy?
Jesus.
The old guy with the white
He's
hair?
a legend.
Okay, he did a lot of those. I don't know his name. He was the As Seen on TV guy.
Yeah.
Who wore like yellow shirts, like polo shirts. Was he that guy?
We'll go over Ron.
I'm sorry.
We'll go over Ron
If
later.
you want to answer the same question, Pat, I know yours would be the 80s from
Yes, like you can make an argument historically, 1985 was the greatest year for like toys and pop culture ever.
And
Like-
my question for you is, what is your favorite commercial mascot?
Favorite commercial
I'm
mascot,
thinking
or
either
that means like really like favorite like
Doughboy. I'm thinking either Pillsbury Doughboy or the Hamburger Helper Glove.
Hamburger Helper Glove doesn't get the credit I think that little guy deserves. Kind of overlooked. That's Ron. I was like the I recognize him. You know what? I like the little Snuggle Bear. I do.
Snuggle Bear, yeah, he's good.
The Snuggle Bear.
Loved him when I was a kid. My parents kind of used that as an example to teach me about how like advertising is evil. They're like, see how much
They
you
ruined
love
it.
that bear?
They
And I was
ruined it.
like, yeah, and they're like, it's for fucking detergent. And I'm like, that is kind of gross how it preys on me. Thanks, Mom. I was like
I like
5.
stuffed little animals. It was like ruining Christmas, ruining
Right.
Santa Claus.
Snuggle Bear isn't real, Ian. He's a marketing asshole designed to take your money.
Thank you so much.
I'll see you on the streams. Anyone here go to my streams every Wednesday? Twitch.tv/Contra Code. Ian's not there.
I don't.
Ian doesn't go. Ian doesn't care about me.
Hey. Hi, I'm Mike. I met you guys a few years ago, and I'd never seen any of your stuff, but then I went all in on it.
And you regretted it immediately.
No, I love
Okay.
it. I've had the NES Punk, Flea Market Madness, Video Game Years, and of course the CUPodcast. I feel like, I said this to you outside, I feel like Frank and I would get along swimmingly because of our interest in music and films. I think we'd have a gentleman's disagreement about the Roger Moore era of James Bond.
Oh, he does. Even if he admits a movie is okay, he's like, I can watch that one. Yeah, like For Your Eyes Only is probably the best Roger Moore one, in my opinion.
I haven't seen that one. I saw.
Oh, really?
Well, I'm not going to list all the ones I saw, but
I mean, there's like 6. So,
Yeah.
so I mean, if you're gonna see him, that one and The Spy Who Loved Me are probably, and I guess The Live and Let Die.
Right.
Those are probably the only 3 you want to see.
those are the ones that I've seen.
And the other
Live and
3,
Let Die,
you don't want to see
Man with
Moonraker.
Golden Gun.
Yeah, you don't want to see Octopussy's weird. We'll just go
I
to
didn't think it
James
was
Bond
weird.
panel now.
All right,
And
anyway.
then A View to a Kill came out, and Roger Moore was like almost 60 by then and could
Yeah.
barely move. So unfortunately,
Bondcast.
yeah, the CU Bondcast.
Well, I hope I'm more limber when I'm 60 in 20 years.
Do that, you okay.
I turned 40 in November. I guess my question on the subject of Frank, is he as much of a Luddite, not into technology as
Yes.
you see in the, really?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, I can even answer that. Yes,
I
he
tried to
is.
teach him how to use a laptop several years back, and it was the worst mistake of my life.
I think I was over there once when you were trying to teach him how to do something on an iPad or something like that, and it was.
No, it wasn't a pad, but he
Maybe
knows how
like
to
a
use a
netbook?
pad. So
Okay.
he had a laptop.
Yeah, okay.
And trying to teach him how to like log into email.
So he doesn't even have a smartphone like
No, he does. He loves this. He can use a smartphone
good.
easily. He can do.
Good.
He knows how to use the Uber, as he says.
The
He knows
Uber.
he knows how to do that.
Let me call the Uber.
That's my Frank impression.
But I have to install the app. Can I get that Uber thing on my phone, Pat? What do you say? I'm like the little sidekick tech guy you see on the '80s shows that help him do these things.
And I guess, is he really into Ancient Aliens, or was that just a litter, for the?
No, he loved that show. Which
Really?
Ancient Aliens.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we met the guy with the hair.
Frank doesn't really
Yeah.
know how to act. What
That guy,
came through on
all I know
cameras.
is the meme photo. That's all I know. That's
Exactly.
all I've seen.
He's pretty genuine.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Makes great sausage and sauce. God, sweet Italian and sauce. Sorry.
It's all good. You're a bit faster.
Hello, I'm Roberto from Monmouth County, New Jersey. Thank you for coming on by.
So I got a question. Looking at the slide there, when you're talking about Marvel, I saw a Paw Patrol icon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, we might as well throw everything on there. We might as well put Stranger Things on there. I mean, at this point, you put anything on there you want.
You see Tommy had like a wishing face he made when he was wishing, like
the wishing.
Paw Patrol, like he's gonna shit it out like a product. If I concentrate hard enough, it's just gonna fly out my ass.
I was going to ask, I know there's an actual Paw Patrol game on consoles, but what do you think, in the wildest speculation you can make, what would Tommy have done with Paw Patrol?
They would have found the app version and tried to port it over. That's for all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I tried to do with Care Bears, the cart game which exists, like, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
That makes sense.
That's it. No, that's as simple as that.
Yeah, he wouldn't have like tried to make an actual game. He would have paid someone to make a game or bought a game and then taken all the credit for it.
I'm guessing it would have been more successful, like you said, if it incorporated the healthcare thing in. I actually work in healthcare, non-clinical, so maybe if there's motion controls, it would have been better.
Right. Yeah.
Well, there was motion controls, but they never worked for that console.
Yeah, and one quick question, because I remember there was a podcast, you mentioned about the Wii skyrocketing in price because of the pandemic. With the inflation and everything, do you think there's going to be any way that's going to cool off, calm down, anything like that?
I think it's already cooling off.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff.
Yeah, it's not like buying bread. When you say inflation, it's more like the interest levels.
No one
increase.
remembers the Wii for its deep library of great games. Everyone remembers it. I mean, okay, I'm being a jerk, but it was loved for its pick up and play stuff. And it was a fad that people got into and then fell out of. And during the pandemic, it was just the same thing. We're sitting around in the house all day. We want to do something a little active. And everyone who bought that immediately bought a copy of Wii Sports with it. And they maybe bought a couple other games too. But it was always the main reason people were buying those pandemic-wise was to get Wii Sports.
Yes.
So once you run out of fun with that again in 2 years, that Wii market's going to come crashing back down.
I see. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
We've got time for a couple more, probably. A couple more.
Hey guys, great to see you come out here. It's really awesome. Get to see your podcast and all that good stuff. But my question's a little bit more off topic. With Warner Media kind of canceling, pretty much almost everything they have with all the craziness that's going on with Ezra Miller, what do you think's going to go on with the Flash movie? You think that gets canceled?
I saw a thing written about it. We'll probably talk about it next week. That there's internally there's
three options, and they're going to do they're either going to shit can the movie entirely, release it with no promo from Ezra Miller, or they're going to have them do like a weepy sit down, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 interview, and then have him do like limited promotion. That was just something.
Limited new stickers, by the way, limited.
The ding ding.
Where's the mushroom?
So anyways, I
think they're going to come out of the movie. They're not going to be anywhere near the promotion. No talk shows.
Yeah, I don't
no
think
red
that.
carpet.
I don't think the weepy interview is going to be an option. He's either not going to promote it whatsoever, or they're going to shit can it.
Yeah.
And I wish. I don't know. It's just a stupid situation. They're fucking that whole thing up.
Thanks so much, guys.
All right, and someone in an Intellivision shirt.
Yeah, I guess my question is, how much does your show suck now that I'm not calling in anymore? Here's Exhibit A. How many of your sponsors have bailed on you by now? Manscaped probably already has 1 foot out the door, or should I say 1 testicle out the door. You were going to say something? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sure it was brilliant, whatever you were going to say.
No, I'm cowering in your presence now. I don't know what to do, Tommy.
We wouldn't have said these things if we knew you were in the audience.
Oh my God.
Well, at the end of the year, you'll be lucky if you get Blue Chew back.
Oh.
Who remembers when they used to cut promos for Blue Chew.
You do what makes the money.
Hey, it works. I mean, what?
Me and John Alvarado and Hans Gruber, we can make that happen.
I don't think his name is Hans Gruber.
No?
No, that's a character from a movie called Die Hard.
I've been calling him Hans Gruber. What's his name?
Oh, you don't know the name of your guy out in Europe peddling your stuff?
No, his name is Hans Gruber to me.
Oh, that's you have to look at it. Probably
It was Hans Lipschitz.
Ipschick, yes.
So you're telling me my whole life has been a lie?
Yes. I mean, I don't know. Did you get into the Yankees Hall of Fame?
Drop the mic, but it's not my mic, so just pretend I'm dropping it. Boom!
All right, bye, Tommy.
Bye, Tommy.
Tommy, everybody.
I think that's about as good as it gets.
Thank you so much for coming out. We're going to be in our booth right behind us. Come say hi, hang out a little bit. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of your Long Island Entertainment Expo.